I think everyone has had that 2-week phase of playing Minecraft in their life. It usually starts with the release of a new version. You sit down with friends to play, explore, discover something new, and then emptiness. Of course, you can speedrun everything from the first tree to killing the dragon or play on masterpiece servers like Hypixel. But have you ever tried to play in one world for more than 2 weeks? I asked this question to my subscribers on my Telegram channel, and as you can see, on average, players spend no more than a month in one world, and here's what I came to. Instead of these standard videos like 100 days in Minecraft, 1000 days in Minecraft, I decided to do something different. I will live for a whole year in one world, in vanilla Minecraft, and to prevent this from turning into a speedrun from tree to dragon again, we will set some rules. First, I must play for at least 30 minutes a day. This is mostly a rule for myself, so that I don't just abandon this idea. Secondly, we'll limit our movement a bit. For example, from the 1st to the 4th month, only the overworld will be available to me. From the 4th to the 8th month, I can go to the nether. And after the 8th month, the end and Minecraft as a whole will be available to me. This will add some challenges to my experiment, like the absence of Elytra and Hyperloop, and also provide more opportunities because I will make the most out of each dimension. Well, I don't want to keep you waiting, so let's just get started. Let's start. Okay, let's create our world. And here is the place where I will spend the next year. Well, I hope it will be a pleasant experience. Let's start with the basics, and by default, begin chopping trees, crafting workbenches, and committing pig genocide. That's how I discovered the natural disaster.
We urgently need to terraform this place to restore the balance of the universe. All done. We can sleep peacefully.
But just look, these are the new wolves from the updates. I haven't played the new versions in so long, but sorry, I don't have any bones, I can't tame you. Let's craft a shovel and get out of here. I want to find some nice territory and live there for a whole life. So I discovered this village, and well, it's quite a nice location, but zombies are already greeting me here, so objectively I won't be staying. Let's see what the villagers left me, as I'll take everything, including the chests and beds. Well, we don't need the crafting table, alright. Okay, you can take a look. Yes, what's in there? There's nothing there. By the way, berries are the best food in Minecraft, but in the future I won't use them again. Oh, the portal here is actually simple, by the way. Considering that we won't be able to go to the nether for a while, this is a nice bonus. So this is already the second village as I head to my cherished place. Let's check what's here. You know, there's this kind of atmosphere, a certain vibe, but it feels like something is missing. Oh, that's more like it. With these crickets, it's just perfect. Then I gathered everything from the chests, spent the night outside, and set off to find the right place to build my future house. Soon I found a truly beautiful place for my home. There are mountains, rivers, and even low jungles nearby, as well as my favorite warm ocean and such a gorgeous beach. Well, I suggest you take a look at this place as it will soon change a lot. I'll start perhaps by laying out all the resources I have for my own convenience. I decided to also place a campfire here and a fallen log like this to create some comfort. Upon waking up, I immediately determined that I needed to build a small house for comfortable survival. For this purpose, I went to gather wood and collect basic resources. I also found a horse that I tamed, but I haven't come up with a name for it yet, so here's a task for you. Please write in the comments what to name it, and I will choose the most liked comment and name the horse that Next, I continued gathering resources and discovered another portal to the nether. In the chest, I found quite valuable resources, including boots with Frostwalker Dal. They will be very useful to me in the future, some more tea. Also, on the way home, I collected some bamboo, which I will later cultivate. Just look at this amazing architecture. And no, I'm not talking about the horse's head. Look at these caves. Basically, look around. My god, this is beautiful. Yes, it's not as wonderful as cocoa beans growing from the ground. And after a few hours, I gathered enough resources to build my first little house.
I decided to live like a hobbit in this burrow. I also planted bamboo and hid our horse away from all sins. It looks pretty good, but you can't live in it yet. And it turned out that 2 hours of farming was not enough, so I had to dig a mine to extract the minimum resources. The same goes for growing food, otherwise I would just starve to death. And in general, before building the house, I decided to walk around the area and mark future constructions with these half blocks. But for now, this will all remain at the stage of contemplation. After a long farming session, I finally started building my little house. It turned out as it did. After all, I'm not a top builder. Don't expect any cool constructions from me, but I will still try to develop in this craft. So we have a lot of things here. I need to move them all to the new house. So I'll break the chest like this and just carry them over.
I left them somewhere around here.
Oh, they just despawned.
What an idiot I am. Anyway, I had to come to terms with losing resources. It didn't stop me from finishing the house, but losing some resources was still quite unpleasant. By the way, I noticed I forgot to install the resource packs. I downloaded some cool resource packs thinking, it will look great. Look, just see how everything transformed so nicely. Well, we're finishing the final stages of our little house, placing the bed and attaching a shelf with a brewing stand here, and now our house is completely ready. Waking up on the 4th of March, I decided that we would start building our warehouse. It is an essential part of our city. It is the first thing that needs to be built. This is where we will store all the resources we gather. The construction of the warehouse turned out to be quite meditative, so I suggest enjoying this process with me. Yes, it's bad. Yes, it looks terrible, but at least I'm building it myself without a schematic. Well, I hope the process of watching the construction of this warehouse brought you as many emotions as it did to me, because today I woke up with yet another new idea. I want to build a passage upwards and place some structures there, because keeping everything on one level is, well, not very appealing. So, to start, a tool that I dig out all this soil, dig out the stone, and we get something like this passage. In the future, it will all grow over and look even better. By the way, I remember that I promised to build a bridge here, but before that I want to terraform this island. It seemed to me that a small cozy beach could be made here. And for this we need to demolish this mountain, which is exactly what I decided to do. After some intense terraforming, I decided to decorate the shore of this beach and build this small fence. And as promised, I will start building this bridge. Also, although I don't really need bridges right now since I have boots with the Frostwalker enchantment, but aesthetically it will be nicer than walking on ice. Also, I would be very grateful if you could suggest any building ideas, what theme, what kind of structures, and if you could also visit my Telegram channel and send me a screenshot or photo of these constructions, I would be really happy. Well, overall, I spent March 6th just in the mine. Yes, that happens too. Speaking of the mine, I also didn't forget to transform it somehow, and even though it's not very big, it's quite beautiful. I also decided to decorate our paths between the buildings. After building the bridge, I started terraforming the island to create new space for constructions. Also, to satisfy my inner perfectionist, I decided to extend the beach area and therefore covered everything with sand. And I also thought it was a great idea to build a small artificial rock here on which I will build a little house in the future. Some kind of house. Once again, I have to go down into the mine to dig up ordinary stone, diorite and andesite. Apparently, until I make farms, I will have to spend half of my gameplay digging. It is time to put the diamonds into action, so I decided to craft a full diamond set. This will help me survive somehow. And just look at this beauty. I'm glad I downloaded these shaders. We are finishing our simulated rock. And for the next idea, we'll need a lot of sand. That's why I'm going to dig it. I really like the desert, so I want to create a desert closer to my home. That's why I need so much sand. According to my plan, we will turn the entire neighboring island into a desert. That's why I built the bridge here. It's quite a tedious process. That's why you're watching all this in a sped up version. In the end, we get a micro desert, which will play its role in the future. Here we will also build many quality structures, but for now we'll leave it as just a desert. And once again, I find myself lacking basic resources like wood, stone and everything else. So I decided to explore the area around to know what resources are within walking distance from us. Along the way, I found a sunken or buried ship. There was nothing valuable there. In the second chest, it's also empty, but at least I took some armor. I also helped the pillagers catch allays, for which I deservedly took their horn. A year ago, it seems I would have killed someone for these horns. Passing through the swamps, I found a mangrove sprout and dismantled some village because I also need terracotta. Sorry guys, nothing personal. Right away, I come across another portal to the nether. I am immensely glad because I wasted the previous resources, and here is what I was looking for. These are Shustarat Just, Yapapumudim Pisus, these are mossy caves. Of course, it's the first time I've seen such mossy caves, usually they are underground. I want to gather as much moss, clay and various small trees as possible here, so hop. A little flower. I should find a few more like this. This is what I was talking about. There are just endless supplies of clay here. I want to build something out of bricks so it will come in handy. The only problem is I don't have shulker boxes. Hey, back off. That's why I did everything with editing. And now the chest has been safely moved to my home. Oh, if only you knew how much time I spent on this. That's, by the way, I found a horn, but I haven't even listened to how it sounds. It's worth it. Also, after literally half a month later, I remembered that you can farm resources with the help of villagers, so we are heading to the nearest village to kidnap the nosy ones. I really like that they literally offer no resistance. Since I don't have a place to store them yet, we will literally send them to the warehouse. And no, this is not mistreatment of people. Well, look, this is literally their place. They literally fit into the interior. I already understood my problem custom regarding farms, so I decided to build a basic animal farm to get at least some wool and leather. After all, these are resources we need. I decided to build a kind of barn. Besides, we need somewhere to keep our nameless horse and other animals. I decorated a little and it turned out, well, as it turned out. I'll place some more blocks, and overall I think we can leave it like this, I would say, if I hadn't spent over an hour decorating our barn and the path to it. Overall it looks good, but I know how to make it better. There, it's like with shaders, everything looks much better, even if it's a somewhat flawed structure. Shites. I didn't deceive anyone, so after half a month, we're pulling our horse out of this pit. There you go, buddy, now you'll live here. I think they'll definitely come up with a name for you. And we will no longer just call him a horse. Following this, I already see my next target, and I need to bring it to our barn too. In general, breeding animals is not exactly a complicated process, it's just quite tedious at the beginning, but no less important. Imagine, I'm going home and there's just this ambush from these 3 green creepers. What if I accidentally run into you? Since I am now the proud owner of a farm, we need to find resources for breeding these very animals. And for this, I decided to build a small wheat farm. Yes, it's not an automatic farm. Yes, I didn't involve villagers here, but a farm is a farm. And right away, while my wheat is growing, I decided to set up a small forge to repair our armor and also to get better enchantments when combining books. Overall, my buildings predominantly have a medieval style. But I assure you, this won't last long. In the future, we will definitely start building something modern. It's just that with the resources I currently have, it's very difficult to build beautiful structures. And spending an entire week farming resources seems like it would be too boring. Next, I realized that living around the mountain will be simply impossible because buildings need space. So I set about building a small bridge to the neighboring island. As usual, we start by filling everything with blocks to understand the basic structure of the bridge and the general format in which it will be built. Then, having the foundation, we start decorating, placing supports, and we get such a wonderful bridge. It looks a bit strange because there's a lot of clutter, but that was exactly my idea. But here you can walk calmly without jumping. Let's not forget about our farm, it needs to be expanded. For this you need to regularly harvest wheat and plant new seeds. Also don't forget about our nosy friends that I brought recently. I decided to build a house for them after all, since living in a warehouse is not quite proper. And for this I built a small trading space. As you can see, I made one mistake that I will regret in the future. Meanwhile, we're bringing this villager, so here is the house. Stop! Why are you all fishermen? Hello, who did I place the provision blocks for? Ah, it's probably because of the barrels. We are immediately rebuilding our little house, and now look, we have hatches here at the back which we can use to change their profession. This will be needed to get the right things, but they don't quite like me. Do not forget to lay a road for our convenience. Yes, I'm back with my wheat. I need wheat, more wheat, to the god of wheat. While feeding the animals, a smart thought occurred to me. I have diamonds, I have a diamond pickaxe, but I still don't have an enchantment table, so let's mine obsidian. Crafting books, lots of books, and now we craft our enchanting table and bookshelves. I'll place it here. In the future I'll build a separate room for it. Let's set up these little books. Turns out there aren't that many. It doesn't matter. Then I quickly re-enchanted all the armor and weapons I had and set off in search of a mesa, as I need terracotta. To help you understand, this is a mesa, but it's strange. It has trees. I've never seen anything like it before. After gathering enough resources, it was time to head home, and on the way, I met this little friend, so I decided to go home on him and settle him next to our unnamed horse. Nee,
We will definitely come up with a name for you too, I hope.
By the way, I forgot. It turns out we have terracotta after I dismantled the village, but it never hurts to have more. Even though it's a desert island, I won't leave it empty, if I can say so, and I decided to build a beacon. So, a brief guide on how to build a beacon in Minecraft. We set up for supports, fill in the walls, and then just brrr. Overall, it's an interesting experiment. I hope I don't abandon it. And yes, I understand that someone else in my place might have built all this in 1 week or even in 1 day. But you see, my goal is not to build a mega number of projects in 1 day. I still need to live in this world for a whole year and not burn out. So I hope for your understanding. The next video of this format will be exactly in 1 month. But if you don't want to wait, you can come to my streams on Twitch. There we will be playing on this same map.
Well, you can subscribe to the Telegram channel to stay updated on the news.